After talking to over 200 experienced moms about what helped them push their baby out smooth like butter during delivery, I noticed there was a pattern that came up again and again. And it was nothing to do with pushing harder, it was actually more to do with calming the body, relaxing the mind, trusting the process, trusting the body, and creating the right environment for birth. So, in this video, I'm going to be sharing what moms told me that helped them deliver their baby and help them slip out smooth like butter during labor and delivery. Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Neha. I'm a mom of two girls aged 5 and 7, currently pregnant with my third baby, which is due any day from now. And I create content around wellness, women's wellness specifically, pregnancy, motherhood, parenting, mindset, and everything that's related to helping women grow and achieve their dreams, their goals, whatever it may be. So if you're interested in this type of content, be sure to follow me. Just a quick disclaimer that I'm not a medical professional or a midwife or a doula. I am just an experienced mom who is passionate about sharing what works for me, talking to other experienced moms, and bringing out the best kind of information, more real information that might help you if you are a mom or if you're a woman who's expecting to become a mother anytime in the future. Every pregnancy and childbirth experience is very different, so be sure to talk to your healthcare provider for more medical advice. So let's focus on labor and delivery, which is the scary part for most moms. So the theme here is that we have to focus on relaxation over force. One of the biggest things moms kept saying is that when they stopped fighting birth, it became much easier. When they started accepting the contractions, the pain, whatever was going on in their body at that time, instead of resisting it, it became a much smoother process. And labor and pain gets definitely harder when you're clenching your body, when you're resisting the pain, when you're fearful, when your body is tense. It definitely makes the process harder than what it actually is. Don't get me wrong, it's not that we're delusional about the pain. It definitely is real, but we have to train our bodies to accept it, to go through that without resisting and clenching and physically being all tensed up. And all this comes with practice. So you got to start weeks or months before your due date, before you actually deliver, for your body to get used to that process. Because if you suddenly start practicing this when you're in labor, your body's not going to know how to deal with that. So you have to learn how to breathe through the contractions. You have to learn how to soften your jaw, not clench it too tight. One term that a lot of moms use is melt into the contraction. So try and relax your body. Just try and be calm and composed. Do the deep breathing. Let the contractions pass. That is how your body will also be relaxed. That's how your baby will also slowly start pushing itself down. So I'll tell you my personal story. My first two births were hospital births, and honestly, I had not done any kind of research. I was just like a mom living her life. I had no clue about what I was going through during pregnancy and what to expect during labor and delivery. I should have done my homework, but I didn't. And then when the day came, I had just gone 2 days past my due date. So I delivered both my kids around 40 plus 2 weeks. And my contractions started at night, and they progressed through the night. My water did not break. So as they were progressing, and you have to follow the 5-1-1 rule, which is that the contractions should be every 5 minutes, lasting at least 1 minute, and for a duration of 1 whole hour. If that continues consistently, that means you're in active labor, and that's the only time hospitals will actually take you in. So when that happened, I reached out to my hospital. I called them and they said, you can come over. They admitted me. Then I slowly started dilating. They had to physically break my water. Contractions got even more intense. And I thought that, this is how it's supposed to be. Like, I'm supposed to be in pain. Like, there's no other way out. Birthing process is painful. That's the whole idea I had, because that's what we watch in movies, right? Like, you see a woman's water breaking suddenly and everyone panics and rushes out the door. The father is like panicking. They're picking up their hospital bags and driving like crazy, and then they get admitted and they start pushing. They're sweating and there's abusing and there's chaos and panic and people constantly coming in and out. But that doesn't always have to be the reality. I mean, for some people, it could be. I'm not saying it's always a smooth process, but you need to start training your body and start believing in yourself. Women have been giving birth for hundreds and thousands of years, even before any of this technology was invented. And back in those days, women had like multiple kids, right? And a lot of unmedicated birth as well. So, medicated birth or unmedicated birth, there's no judgment around that. That's completely your choice. But regardless of what you choose, even if you choose to do an elective C section, you need to know that you do not have to suffer through any kind of pain if you are mentally and physically prepared weeks or months beforehand. So basically, labor is not about pushing and suffering through the pain, it's about surrendering your body. Second thing is position in which you birth. That matters a lot. Now, the first two times I gave birth, I was lying on my back and pushing, which is totally against gravity. The first birth I had, it was a medicated birth, which means I had an epidural. And when you take an epidural, they hook you up with a lot of things on your belly to monitor the baby, the heart rate, and the contractions, and all of that. So you have to sort of lay on your back, and that's the only position they'll let you literally push in, because hospitals have their protocols as well. But that was very traumatic for me because I had a big baby and I was pushing for like 4 or 5 hours. She wasn't passing through. Finally, they had to use a vacuum and pull her out. And I had a second-degree tear. So my recovery was very, very painful and took long and was hard. Considering it was my first time, I was in trauma for a very long time. The second time around, they used forceps, although I had an unmedicated birth because by the time I reached the hospital, I was 10 centimeters already. So there was no time for epidural. But they had to use forceps because my baby was big. And again, I had to lie down in that same position, although I was advocating for my health and I told them my body is not feeling comfortable. My body's naturally not letting me lie in this position and push because it's so hard. Like you're literally going against gravity. So how is that helping? But they did not listen to me. Again, I had second degree tear, hard recovery, and not a fun experience. But this time around, I have decided to understand the process, to train my body, to advocate for my health, and make sure I'm not pushing in that position of laying on my back. And that's what all the experienced moms also suggested. There are so many different positions in which you can labor and give birth. One position is you can be on all your fours, because that is very ideal when you have your knees in and ankles out. That means that you're working with gravity. And there's something called FER, which is fetal ejection reflex. It means your body, your uterus, slowly pushes the baby out itself. Have you heard of moms giving birth while they are in coma? Like their body is not able to move, but because of that fetal ejection reflex, the uterus kind of pushes the baby out itself. So you have to be patient. You have to do a lot of breathing so that it can work with gravity and help your baby descend better into the pelvis and then out through the birthing canal rather than forcing it out. You can also lie on your side in the side lying position. That's also what a lot of moms said that helped them and also prevented tearing. Now, there's no guarantee that you will not tear at all. It depends on a lot of different factors, but it can definitely reduce your chances of tearing or maybe give you like a first degree tear, which sometimes does not even require stitches and heals much better, and that can completely change your postpartum experience. A lot of moms also give birth in the squatting position, because imagine what better way to work with gravity than doing a squat. Another important thing is having a calm environment, which can lead to a better labor and delivery process. This was another point that a lot of moms kept on saying, that having a soothing environment, like think of a spa. You walk into a spa, suddenly you feel relaxed even before you lay on the bed and even before your massage starts, right? right? It's just because the environment, the energy, the lighting, the music, the aroma, everything instantly makes you feel relaxed. And that is what you need to have. Even if you decide to do a hospital birth, not a home birth, you can create a small space, either your bedroom, your basement, or any part of your house that feels more calming and relaxing. Because, like I mentioned before, you will only go to the hospital when you're in active labor. Before that, during early labor, the hospitals will ask you to stay at home. And this is where the environment matters. So, create a small space, have like those electric candles lit up because that's safer than lighting actual candles. You can put up some fairy lights, you can have some soothing music, whatever helps you calm down. You can have some essential oils. Trust me, that makes so much of a difference. You can bounce on your yoga ball, you can just lay on your yoga ball and move around during the early labor phase. Movement is also very important rather than just lying in bed because that can intensify the pain. So keep moving, try to do some regular chores around the house, but listen to your body. That's very important. When you feel tired, take a break, lie down, rest, eat some snacks so that you have energy for when you have to actually start pushing and delivering your baby. Stay hydrated, drink water, preferably with electrolytes, because that will keep you hydrated much better, give you the strength and the energy to stay up. Have small snacks like some nuts and fruits, granola bar, protein bar, some yogurt, peanut butter, all those kind of snacks, coconut water. All these things are very helpful and they're not going to make you feel too heavy. One more thing is building that team around you who's going to help you feel supported and not stress you out. So it could be your partner, your spouse, your mother, a close friend, whoever you trust, that will help you keep your calm, soothe you during those intense moments. You need to have and you need to build that team around you. You can even take a warm shower or a bath when you're in early labor. That helps with pain reduction. Birth is also hormonal, which a lot of us don't even know. Oxytocin is one hormone that's released that helps you keep calm and helps with a smoother labor. And sometimes when you go to the hospital and when you're induced, they give you pitocin, which acts like oxytocin, but it's not a natural hormone. It's a drug that they inject in your body, and that can lead to more intense contractions, more painful contractions, and it can also lead to more interventions, and more interventions means that you'll likely not have a very smooth labor and delivery. Next is movement during labor, which I already covered, but walking around, just laying on your yoga ball, bouncing gently on your yoga ball, taking a warm shower, just doing regular things around as much as your body allows, that will also help engage the baby lower in your pelvis and distract you from all the pain. So keep moving, but listen to your body. And coming to the last part, but the most important part, is mental preparedness and mindset. Now, this surprised me the most because no one really talks about it. The moment you tell your OB or your friends, relatives, parents, spouse that you're pregnant, no one really talks about how to prepare yourself mentally for it. Everyone focuses on the physical part of it, like what you should be eating or not eating, and all that is definitely important, but being mentally prepared is so much more important, especially in the last phase of your pregnancy when you're going through labor and delivery. So consider hypnobirthing. That's what moms said and swore by. You can just look it up on YouTube. There are so many doulas and midwives making videos on what hypnobirthing is, but it basically means using affirmations, gratitude practice, visualization months before you actually deliver your baby, so that you can train your mind into believing that you've already had such a smooth labor and delivery process. This is how you train your subconscious mind into believing that you've already have something even before you physically experience it. And that makes the whole process so different. You're basically attracting the outcome that you want just by visualizing it every single day. You're tricking your mind in a way into feeling that you already have this. So when you're going through the process, it's not something new for your brain. Even if you're a first time mom and have never physically experienced it, your body will believe that you've already experienced it, and it's a good and a great experience, not a negative experience. So if you've heard of manifestation and law of attraction, what the concept basically means is that when you feel something has already happened in your life, even before it happens, that's the outcome you will eventually attract. So if you have the faith, the trust, the belief, if you keep on telling your baby that you trust your baby, you know the process, your baby knows the process, the universe is working with you. The universe, you trust the universe's process, you trust the path that they've chosen for you, you trust your body knows how to deliver, your body was meant to give birth to this child. That is what every muscle of your body is going to start believing. And trust me, that completely changes the game. That reduces your anxiety, your fear, your doubts, and any kind of pain that you feel during the labor and delivery process. So, training your mind is the most important thing. Mind over body, always. I think the biggest takeaway from this video is that birth is not just a physical process. It's mental, it's emotional, it's hormonal, it's karmic, it's spiritual, and it's environmental too. So if you're pregnant, I hope this video helped you feel more informed and a little less afraid. And if you've already given birth, then I would love to hear your experience. So please share them in the comments below so that maybe other moms can benefit from learning something from your experience. If you enjoy this kind of content, then I would love for you to subscribe, as I'll be making a lot more content around pregnancy, labor, delivery, mindset, wellness, health, especially for women. I'm so excited to finally start this channel, and I'll see you in my next video.